disaster must come. At best, only postponed. Shaolin Kung Fu, to survive, must now be taught to more young men.
Welcome to another episode of Fists, Kicks, and Flicks, the podcast about martial arts, movies, and life. I am one of your hosts, Eugene Plowden, and with me, as always, my podcast partners, Joe Hartley and Angel Diaz. What's up, fellas?
What's up, man?
Hold on.
If this is your first time with us, I want you to know we are members of the Martial Arts Internetwork. On Monday, you got Raw with Mimi and Lump. Tuesdays is CTE with Chris, Los, and Travis. Wednesdays is us, Fists, Kicks, and Flicks with Gene, Mike, Joe, and Angel. And on Thursdays, you can get the Inside Scoop with Alex and Jeff. For more information, you can check us out on all of our social media platforms. Just look for the Martial Arts Internetwork on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube. Fellas, it's showtime. What's going on?
Hey, Gene, how's it going? It's been a pretty good week. This is my first week on the day shift. So I'm kind of adjusting, and yeah, I like it a lot. I mean, just getting home and being able to like still have a whole day ahead of me, even though I gotta, get the kids, do dinner and all that. But I was doing that stuff anyway, so I was like, now I just feel like I have and then I still have the night to, watch maybe a TV show with my wife and stuff. So it's really nice.
So it kind of messed up your workout program then, huh? Because you're not able to work out in the morning, so and you probably
but it's gonna get better because I'm gonna be able to do it now, like after dinner.
Okay.
Because I feel like I could go, do some more training, go to the gym for an hour or something like that, like after dinner. Even like lately, I just been taking the dog for a walk.
Whoa. Okay. See, I'm not one of those people that can go back out after I come back home. From ripping and running all day. I have to do my workouts in the morning. I can't come home and eat dinner and then go back out and work out. It's not going to happen for me. I just don't. I just can't do it.
I hear you. I hear you. But then the other thing, because now I have Tuesdays and Wednesdays off, so now I'm back to working the weekends. So,
oh, man.
But I mean, I still get off at 2:30. I get home by 3. I still have the whole day ahead of me, so it's not big deal.
Yeah.
And then my daughter and my son, they had a play over the weekend. They did the Newsies, and so we watched that, and they did awesome in that. My daughter, she took on, I think she had 7 stage appearances and like 12 lines, so she did really good.
Okay. All right.
And my son, he likes to dance and sing and goof around, so he just does the ensemble.
Okay. What's up, Bugs? What's going on, man? How was your weekend?
My weekend was eventful. I just got back from Guatemala yesterday, so
dang,
that was a pretty crazy trip.
How long were you there for?
Literally like a day and a half, maybe, and that was it.
Seriously?
Yeah.
He just wanted to fight. He wanted to compete, right?
Okay.
Yeah. I was supposed to get there early Friday morning because I had a seminar. Did not do my seminar. My flight got delayed, canceled. Everything that could go wrong went wrong. So I just basically got out there just to do the tournament, and that was it.
Okay.
So that was it. But
people are having so much trouble flying right now. I say just forget about it.
It sucks.
If you can avoid it, like everyone I know is having so much trouble flying right now.
At this point, I'm about to start flying Spirit.
Oh, I would never do that. I'm not doing that. I'm not.
That's how bad it is.
Ugh.
But if Spirit would like to sponsor the Martial Arts Network Fists, Kicks, and Flicks podcast, we were more than happy. We would love to fly Spirit. If anyone putting that out.
Yeah, man. I got to go to Chicago in a couple weeks. I tried to get out of flying to Chicago. Chicago's only 4 hours from here.
Why don't you drive?
I got a new job, and my manager, he wants to fly. He wants me to fly out there, and I told him, I said, "Hey, man, you're only 4 hours away. I can just drive." Say, "No, we're gonna go ahead and book it. It'll be easier this way." I'm thinking, like, man, you could just, You can just rent me a rental car. I'll drive the rental car out
You know
there.
what
You
you
know.
could say? Well, if I was you, I would have been like, no, just give me the money you would have spent on the flight, and I'll just go down there. I'll just go down there. It's no problem.
No, you know what? They're not. They're probably spending miles. My my mother-in-law's husband, soon to be husband, he has a engineering business, and he, like, when we go on trips and stuff, he uses his miles because he's got cards filled with miles from all the flying his company does. So he'll fly like first class on those miles, no problem.
And
Again,
I know it's only a 30 to 45-minute flight from Detroit to Chicago. I get it. But it's just such a hassle. I got to get to the airport 2 hours early, you know, then the flight, then baggage claim, and all of that. By the time I get through all of that, I could have been there. I could have drove myself there. That's about 4 hours, you know. So that's how I look at it, you know. So I'm not really looking forward to flying out there, but you know, I'm happy about the opportunity that I got. So you know, I'm good, you know.
That's good.
Yeah. So Angel, how did you do at the tournament? Did y'all team fight or anything, or what happened?
Oh man,
You know what? You be thinking I'd be in the loop. I think because when I ask you questions, you be like, "You ain't heard."
Nobody knows what happened. That's why I laughed.
Okay.
Only people that would know what happened is if you were in Guatemala and you saw what happened. So,
you know what, Joe? I really need to talk to Trav. I need to talk to Travis because I think we need to start sending a camera when Angel goes to these tournaments because it's always some shit. Every time he comes back, it's never just a. I went to the tournament and I came back. He always has stories that he doesn't want to talk about on the podcast. You can see it in his face.
If we talk about it, like, this is probably like one of the most embarrassing, but like one of like the worst stories I could probably tell. So I'll make it quick because I don't want to get into detail. I fought. It was a WKC. It was a WKC national for Guatemala. So like their qualifier. One of the coaches on my team, he ran it. So I went out there to go and just, you know, support him. And I was like, let me try and like ruin everyone else's chances of making the Guatemalan team, even though I'm not Guatemalan. Like, let me just see what I can. So I went out there. I ended up winning my weight category. I did not know that there was a 15-point spread rule. So I was 1 point away from 15-point spreading the person. I was so pissed. I was I was over here trying to spread them. I'm not going to lie. I fight open weight. My match only lasted 5 seconds.
You got hurt or something?
I went to go. I did a fake and made it look like I was in a kick. I'm fighting a bigger person, you know. I don't want to say his skill level, what it was, but I'm just fighting a bigger person. He threw a spin heel kick to my groin and hit me flush. Hit me flush with his heel. It was so bad. I never even like put my feet and walked around. He hit me and I instantly fell to the floor, screaming, crying. Like, it was the most pain I've ever been in my life. I had to get carried out on a stretcher. I had to get put in the back of an ambulance. It was bad. So I came back. It took me, I would say, like maybe close to an hour until I was able to walk again.
When you got carried out, did you get carried out like Daniel got carried out of Karate Kid? I had to.
Bro, it was terrible. It was terrible. My body started like seizing up. Like I started like twitching and I couldn't like.
Oh man,
it was.
He had to be an underbelt. He had to be an underbelt.
You know, the category said black belt open weight, and I swear to you, that man I'd never seen anyone throw a kick like that before in my life.
I've never heard of anybody throwing any type of spinning kick to the groin.
He threw it I'm telling you now, there's no way you can say, like, oh, I meant to throw it up high. His leg was never even in a chamber. His leg was aiming straight at and I'm going to be honest with you. My personal opinion, everyone saw me spread this like national champion in Guatemala. So I felt like their thought was, well, let's just make him stop kicking. Let's just throw, because like I'm not gonna lie, if I saw someone kicking that good, the thought would be like, damn, if I hit you in these nuts really hard, you probably ain't gonna kick no more. But I've heard of people doing that. And then I'm in another country. I'm American. Like, I'm not gonna say everything was like the best in my interest. So yeah, man, he ended up getting disqualified. Technically, yeah, I won the match, but I couldn't even continue. And I'm actually like really mad because, man, I had a good feeling I was gonna win the open weight. So yeah, that's how it went. That's why I say like that trip was crazy. For me to only be there for like 18 hours and then for me to get hurt the way I did, and it was so bad. So today I'm teaching my classes with my kids and they're like hitting pads and I was like scooting back because I was too afraid they're gonna like hit me. Like it's just like now like the trauma with it is just ridiculous. So
did your girlfriend go down there with you?
No, which that was like another thing that made it worse. So I'm over here like I can't even really call her. So I'm like, they were trying to take me to the hospital. I'm like, no, I don't want to go to the hospital. Like I'll just fly home, and when I land in the States, I'll go to like a medical center. Like I'm not gonna go to a medical center out here in Guatemala. Just because I remember my grandmother went to a medical center years ago when I went to Dominican Republic, and they'll like keep you there all day, basically keep you all night, and you're there till like the next day. And I had to get a flight in the next like 7 hours. I was flying back home to Miami, so I was like, nah, I'll figure it out when I land back in the States. But yeah,
man,
crazy.
Well, that sounds very eventful.
That's what I'm saying. You guys, I could really bring a camera with me for all the stuff that happens. Now I'm gonna be like those traditional guys that be wearing the cup outside the pants. That's gonna be me. Yeah,
I hate that.
If you break that,
that kind of stuff makes me want to kick you in the balls. Like for real.
I wasn't gonna say that, Joe. I was thinking it, but I wasn't gonna say it.
It just does. It's just like it's unnecessary. I mean, I guess it's convenient, but whatever.
Joe, it's so necessary now. It's necessary. I want people to know if you hit me there, you break that, you were purposely trying to hit.
So was your cup broken? Oh wow. Oh yeah. See, it's a good thing you had your cup on. It's a good thing. There are some people who don't like wearing cups, and I'm like, are you crazy? Like accidents can happen. Like I don't understand people who don't like wearing cups. It just doesn't make any sense. Luckily you had your cup on, or else, you might not have any little angels in the future, So.
Well, listen, I'm gonna tell you guys off air what the medic said to me, because that was the wildest thing I've ever heard.
All right.
I can't wait for that.
Yep. My weekend was pretty chill. I went over to Windsor this weekend, and me and Mel just chilled out. Went for some walks and talked and just hung out, so it was just a chill weekend over here for me. All right, so let's get to this movie we're talking about this week. We are talking about Kickboxer, Vengeance. I had to look this movie up. I watched it on YouTube. Where'd you guys watch it?
I watched it on YouTube.
Okay. All right, cool. I had to look it up because when I was watching, I wanted to know how much similar this movie was going to be to the other Kickboxer movie. And to me, it reminded me of a movie. Sometimes in your head, I don't know about you guys, but I know myself. Sometimes I watch a movie and I say, I would have did it differently, and this is how I would have did it differently. Because some of the characters were still the same. Like it was still Eric and Kurt Sloan. I think that was their last name. Was it Sloan, right?
Yeah. Okay,
it was still those two. The main villain at the end, he had the same name from the other movies, right?
Yep, Pitbull.
Yeah. So all of that was the same, and then everything, then they had some other differences. I think in the first movie, Eric, he just got his back broken. He didn't die. In this movie, he died. So there were some differences, and there was some same things going on, but it wasn't a lot of similarities. It wasn't a lot. I did not care for how the movie was made. It didn't seem like a major motion picture. It seemed like a little low budget the way it was made. Some of the scenes I should say seemed a little rushed to me. Yep. Especially the one scene where Kurt is in his room, and that police officer woman comes over and they start having sex. It was like that. She just walked in, she's fussing at him, and next thing you know, they're going at it. Like normally that there's a conversation that would have happened, and then you would have saw them and their chemistry leading up to them making out with each other. That didn't happen. She came in fussing at him, pushing him. Next thing you know, they're laying in the bed, and it just seemed a little rushed for some of the stuff that they did.
He had it good like that.
All right. And of course, Van Damme made his appearance in the movie. He seemed a little weird. Did he have like some type of work on his face done or something?
No, I just think that's just old age, bro.
Yeah, he looks weird. I've seen him in some other movies since he's been older. And he just looks different. It's something about his face that looks different to me. Looks weird.
He I believe he had a hand in this movie as well, other than being in it. I think
he did.
He produced it, might even directed it.
No, he definitely did.
I don't think he directed it, but I think he did. He is one of the producers on it. What did you guys think about the movie overall?
I didn't hate it, but it was. I mean, it literally was the same story. More or less, it was the same story. Obviously there were some differences. My biggest problem is I liked the lead character. Like I thought his martial arts was good, but why did he so many like acrobatic kicks?
I think that was. I just figured that was a nod to Van Damme. That's what I was thinking.
That's what it was.
No, because he liked to do that, like that front flip and smashing people on the head. He was doing like run up the wall back kicks and stuff. And then he was doing the helicopter kick like Van Damme a couple times, and then he had that barrel roll. I felt like his just the simple martial arts was pretty good. He was fast. I would have liked to see more of that and less of the jumping around thinking he was a ninja.
Okay. What did you think of the movie, Angel?
Me personally, I'm not gonna say I hated it. I didn't like when I watched it the first time, and even when I watched it this time, I wasn't expecting to have the same feeling I had when I watched the original Kickboxer. But for me, I guess I would just say it looked like there was more acting in this one than there was in Kickboxer. Does that make sense? Like,
you mean like making as far as the story and the dialogue?
Yeah, like Kickboxer, It wasn't really that way. It was like more like a focus around training, like 80s was the training montages and like fighting. That's all it was.
Yeah.
Now this was like I feel like they tried to patch the holes that they did in the first one, and like let's add more story and dialogue, and then we'll have the little bits and pieces of training montage and fighting. You know what I mean? Me personally, I actually really like the last fight scene.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. I enjoyed the final fight.
Yeah, the final fight scene.
The final fight was good.
Saved kind of like the movie in my mind.
That's what I was thinking, Angel. That's exactly what I was thinking also.
That's what I would say. Like it saved the movie. If the final fight scene wasn't that good, I wouldn't really be happy watching this movie. And I'm not saying I'm like the happiest person, but like I can get through it knowing that the final fight scene is like the best scene. So it's like I don't know. It's like a 50-50 for me.
What did you guys think of Batista as the Tung Po?
Loved it.
I had to look it up because at first I thought this guy looks like Batista. But see, the thing is, it looks like he slimmed down for the movie. Yeah. He was. No,
you know what? I think they were shooting him to make him look taller. That's what I think. He might have slimmed down, but I think honestly, they were shooting him from angles to make him look a little taller because Tung Po, if you remember in the first one, like he was this like giant of a man. He wasn't just like muscly; he was just like this. Like
he actually wasn't that much muscle in the real original Tung Po wasn't muscle.
Yeah, but he was just a massive. Yeah, he was a massive guy.
Was he really tall, or was it that Van Damme was short?
Probably both.
You could do that. Yeah, we could say both. Yeah.
Okay.
That is because Kurt is a lot taller. Well, taller than Damme was.
Yeah, he definitely was. What about GSP's role?
Hated it.
That it seemed like that was a waste for him. Like, why are you gonna have
exactly for all that?
Why are you gonna have GSP? Why would George St. Pierre be a drunk? They could have gave him.
of all the ways to use his talent, why have him be that person? Why didn't you have him be like a permanent sparring partner for like, you know what I mean? Like, why use him?
Or he could have been. Wasn't in the first one. There was a military guy or something, right? That was his friend that was helping him out. Like, how come GSP couldn't have been that guy?
Oh, true.
You know, because that role, that character was not in this movie at all. It was nobody like that in this movie.
It wasn't represented at all.
No, right. So that's what they should have did with GSP.
Or why didn't they make GSP the brother?
They could have did that also,
because he could have been doing he could have been the kickboxing champion, you know, and avenge him, or could have been the MMA champion, or could have been something, right? Like, make it more relatable. Not being a drunk. That was just a waste of his time, honestly.
Yeah, because he even comes back to helps him train, and we didn't see him anymore after that. I don't think after he helped him train. And he didn't really give a really good reason as to why he was there, because he came there to do something wrong, and then that's all right. I'm sorry. I'm gonna train with you.
Yeah,
you know, it was weird. It was weird. Did you guys notice that there was a girl training with him at one point in time also?
Yep.
They never explained who that was, because I don't think that was the police officer girl.
No,
because she didn't want him to fight. She wanted him to stay wherever he was at. She didn't want him to leave, right? Like, he was technically from her point of view, like he was like on a house arrest. She didn't want him to leave from being around Van Damme. So I don't think that was her helping him train. So I was like, who is that girl? Who's helping him train? And they never explained that. No,
they never did. And they had a lot of random people just showing up on that compound.
Yeah,
all the time. Especially, like, where did those kids suddenly pop up throwing coconuts?
Right. Exactly. Yeah, they just kind of just showed up. I don't know. All right, Joe, do you want to go ahead and talk about the movie? Let's get started.
All right, I'll start with, I got the storyline up here. Eric and Kurt Sloan are descendants of a well-known Venice, California-based family martial arts. Okay, when was that even brought up? I don't remember any of I mean, I just honestly, it wasn't.
How did we already poke a hole in this? Oh my god, we only got.
I'm just saying, like, this is the storyline, but the storyline literally starts off with him trying to kill Tung Po with a gun, gets his ass kicked, and then they go backwards and show, you know, how he got there, and then we come, you know, present day where he's supposed to leave, and he sticks around and trains.
So, I'm glad they did that. I'm glad they did, because I was a little lost at first at the beginning of the movie, because I didn't understand, like, where is he? But at the same time, like, I think they should have did that first instead of making it a flashback. Just do that first. Like, it was no need to make it a flashback. They should have just did it, told the story, and just led up normally.
And that's how the original starts. The original starts with a kickboxing match. He goes out, kicks some dude's ass, gets offered a fight, and then we go from there.
Mm-hmm.
I think they were just trying to do too much.
Yeah.
Anyhow, Kurt has always been in his older brother Eric's shadow, as he lacks the instincts needed to become a champion. Against Kurt's concerns, Eric accepts a paid offer and travels to Thailand to challenge the Muay Thai champion Tung Po, and fails with dire consequences. Yes, he dies. Kurt sets out for revenge. He trains with his brother's mentor, Duran, for a Muay Thai fight against the merciless champion Tung Po. Duran first thinks Kurt is impossible to train, but through a series of spiritual exercises and tests, Duran discovers that Kurt has a deeper strength that will carry him through his final showdown with Tung Po. Now, spiritual? What, throwing coconuts? And...
I don't know.
I don't know if I call his method spiritual.
Yeah, I don't know about that. That was
an
weird.
Interesting way to put it.
Yeah.
So, like I said, this movie starts off literally. If I didn't watch it before, I would have been very confused, because he literally shows up at a compound of that we find out is a like an underground training facility.
Mm-hmm.
He's met by George St. Pierre's character, which I don't know if they gave him a name or not, and he's drinking. And he says, "I'm here to train with Tung Po." This is Kurt.
Mm-hmm.
And, GSP's character basically just starts fighting him. Oh, no, he tells him for money first. He gives him money, and then he just starts fighting him, and he's drunk.
Yeah, just no reason, just out the blue.
Yeah, no reason, just starts kicking and punching. But apparently we find out, kind of, nobody really says it, but apparently, that's the way it is here. Because then he fights 3 more people, and then they're like, okay, you can stay.
Mm-hmm.
And this whole thing's in a cave of some sort. And I guess it's supposed to be a spiritual Muay Thai battleground or something like that.
Yeah.
And so I do know, because later on GSP says something like, oh, you basically he got demoted.
Yeah, he said that he lost his job.
Yeah, he lost his job.
Answering
so
the
I guess
door?
That's what I guess, but yeah, you're right. Because what was his job?
Answering the door. I think he said that.
There's some kind of hierarchy of fighting. That must be why they were all doing it, but I don't know. They didn't really explain nothing.
No.
They just, and then the next day we see Tung Po, and he comes out and he breaks some big old rock in the middle of the ground, which made no sense.
Well, that was a nod to the original movie, because
where
in the original,
where he was kicking the pillar.
Right. So that's how I took that. But
they were trying to make it all sound like Zen and stuff. They're like, if you can spiritually get in touch with your inner, I don't even. There was just some bullshit, but and then he kicks this big old rock a couple times and it breaks in half, and everyone's like, ah, and then everyone starts, they start having fighting matches.
Mm-hmm.
So this whole underground situation was kind of weird, but we do find out, as weird as this whole situation is, Kurt is there for revenge. He has a backpack, he's got money, he's got clothes, and then he brought a gun. He's just gonna basically go shoot Tung Po.
Hold on. Where did he get that gun from? Because I know he didn't fly with it. I know he didn't bring it through customs.
No.
So he lands in Thailand and asks somebody, hey, can you take me to go get a gun? That's crazy.
Yeah, exactly. Again, makes no sense.
He doesn't know anybody either. He doesn't know anybody.
My thing is this. This dude is pretty crazy because, they should have just killed him on the spot, because you're going to show up at some dude's home where he's worshipped, and you're going to shoot him with even if you did get a shot off, you're dead.
Yeah, you might as well just shoot yourself after that, because you're not making it out there alive.
Now, luckily, he was disarmed and beat up, but they didn't kill him. But he could have easily been dead.
Yeah. And he knew, Tung Po knew who he was, because he said something about his brother, said something like your brother had honor or something like that.
Yeah, he
said your brother was a warrior. He fought with honor.
Yeah.
You're going to come up in here and just shoot me? He's like, where's the honor in that?
And he actually had a point.
100%.
Right. Now, I wonder what happened with that money, because Eric was paid $200,000 to go over, right? And $200,000 was it another $200,000 to have the fight?
Yeah.
So he could have made
you what happened to money when he went. So
I missed it.
They dropped him off. So the police officer, that lady police officer, and everybody popped up, grabbed him. They took him to the trainer, Duran, which is Jean-Claude Van Damme, and he gave him the money. Eric had said, hey, if anything goes wrong, I want this to go to my brother. So he gave him the money. Yeah. He gave him an envelope, which they never showed us what was in it, but I assumed it was the money.
Okay.
And then the police basically told him he needs to get on a plane and get out of town and never come back, which of course he didn't listen.
Well, if that's the case, then that means that Kurt is rich. $400,000 a year in Thailand. You don't have to do nothing else.
And he was already kind of throwing money around, so he must have had some money from back in California too. But so his idea basically is to get revenge now the right way by training with Duran and taking on Tun Po.
Right.
Which you're supposed to be the lesser fighter, and your brother got killed. So I mean, sounds like a smart idea. Good job. Go for it. I mean, for real. That's the thing that always killed me about these movies. Is like you're supposed to be the better or the worse fighter, but you're like the good fighter got killed or injured, and you're like, oh, this sounds like a good idea.
Right. But I have so much anger in me. I can do it. I can muster this energy up, and I can take him out.
I guess. I mean, I get it. I get the anger part, but it's interesting to me to say, oh, okay, now all of a sudden I'm going to become a better fighter than my brother, who, by the way, got destroyed by this dude. So, so Durant, yeah, he does not. He's like basically like, nah. I trained Kurt the best I could. I let him down. I mean, Kurt, not Eric. And I'm not going to get another person killed. But for whatever reason, he gives in and he does decide to train him. Oh, I know what happened. They started fighting each other. Because, of course, that's what has to happen.
Didn't you have to do that when you came over to start training with us? Then my uncle said, "Okay, in order for you to train with us, you got to fight me."
I've been fighting y'all. For like 6 months.
No, that didn't really happen. No, it wasn't like that. It wasn't like that. It wasn't like that.
Listen. Not in that sense, but they had. Listen, Angel. This is how they do it. Okay, we have open fighting on Fridays, so you can come off the streets if you want from another karate dojo. And you can come on over to Plowden's. What they don't tell you is you're going to get your ass kicked. Okay? Like, the whole idea is you're coming out on my turf. We don't want you to come back. But my brother and I, we were stupid. We kept coming back until we decided, you know what? It's smarter if we just join the club because maybe they won't kick our ass so much.
there were some MMA people, some well-known MMA people in Michigan who came.
Was that the TIE fighter guy with the shorts out?
No, I'm not gonna say their names because they may or may not be listening. But there were some MMA people who came over who kind of got knocked around.
Hey man. I see some stuff in there that we could make a podcast on that.
Everybody has some fun. Everybody has some fun from time to time.
But I bet you none of them did a spin kick to someone's groin.
No, I mean, if something like that would have happened, that person would have got fucked up. Point blank, period. Like that is like.
Thrown out to Grand River.
That person, whoever did that person would have got passed around like a blunt to everybody in the school, and everybody would have had a hit of that if that would have happened.
And this is why we're not on. This is why we can't go live. This is why Travis says we can't go live.
Oh God!
Man.
I knew you about to say that. Oh my God!
We might not be consistent on this show as far as craziness, but we give Mimi a lump of run for their money sometimes.
Oh my God! Yo! Oh my God!
Hey, I'm serious. I'm serious. So sometimes, man, I mean, there's been some people that really got messed up. People that said the wrong thing, came in and did the wrong thing. You got to act respectful. So hey,
no, they think, and see, I know this because I used to be one of them. I used to think, oh, they're inviting us here because they want to help us train and get better. And I'm like, no, they're inviting us here for target practice.
I can't believe somebody finally recognized that.
And I would say to myself, like, oh, okay. And when you realize that and make the decision to keep coming back, that's when you go, okay, you got to have your guard up the whole time. And then it just became surviving. Now, I used to come and be like, okay, can I get through 10, 12 fights before I start hurting a little bit? And then I said, okay, if you can't beat them, join them.
If I could have got up and kept fighting, oh my God.
I wish you would have. Kick him right back, man.
Listen. I'll never forget his name. And I said to everybody, I said, I'll be back. Just don't worry about that. I'm gonna come back.
I'm going with you.
Yeah, I'll come back for that one.
I got you back.
I'll come back for that one. Best believe.
Are you planning to go back to get disqualified?
No. We're gonna win, but like we're gonna make sure that like you don't even see a score go up for you. Like we want to make it like and it's like I can make it a 10-point spread, but I don't even want that. I want you like just to know, like make some clashes, but just make it you'll know like he came back here for one reason. And I'll even ask like.
You playing this show out, huh?
Listen, I don't care how big someone is. If I'm coming to get you, I'll be like, what weight division are you? 200 plus? Guess what I'm doing? I'm putting 1,000 water bottles in my bag when I go weigh in. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Keep on going, Joe.
So this is our training montage. We got we got the music, we got some. It kind of reminded me of like a blood sport type of training montage.
It did.
He even he was doing the splits on the raft or whatever, those two rafts. And of course, Duran had to look at him and say, "Oh, the splits? That's original." I said, "Really?" The man who is known for doing the splits is going to try and make a joke.
Right.
Yeah, some stuff that they said, I was like, "You're so corny." Shut up.
Did you? And I know you didn't watch it yet, but the second one, the opening scene, like when they do the title screen, it's showing scenes from all of Van Damme's movies, from the original Kickboxer, from Bloodsport. It was weird.
Why would they do that?
Don't know. I said the same thing. I was like, "Oh, did I put on the wrong movie?" I'm like, it was weird. So I guess they wanted to kind of give a nod to the originals.
Yeah, there's not really much else that really happened in this movie. They end up getting arrested and they end up going to jail. I don't even really know why they went to jail. I can't remember why they went to jail. Do you remember, Angel?
Honestly, I don't remember. Because I didn't really understand why they were even in jail.
No, that's what I'm saying. I don't know why they went to jail.
Yeah.
Do you remember?
They said because he was they were treating him like a fugitive and Duran as harboring a fugitive.
Oh yeah,
because he was supposed to leave.
I guess it makes sense when you put it like that.
Yeah,
but still,
they considered him. I know it was stupid, but
that's
after we get a training montage, and that consists of beating up on coconuts and running and all kinds of regular old Rocky blood sport kind of stuff like that. And it was honestly it was interesting.
Are you mad? Are you mad they didn't have the dance scene in here for him? Now I know there was a dance scene.
No, they had it.
But it wasn't Kurt.
It was at the end.
That wasn't Kurt. That was some random person that was in jail.
That was him.
That was him?
Yeah. He did
exactly
what Van Damme did. I think they showed it at the end side by side.
Yeah, they did, but I didn't realize that was him. I thought that was somebody else, some random person in jail, because they had on. I could have swore they had on a jumpsuit.
No, it was Kurt. I swear to you, I thought it was Kurt. It looked like him.
I don't know who it was, but I will. Instead of doing an actual dance scene, they did take him to like a bar and made you think they were going to do something similar.
I hate that. Don't play with me.
They had him fight this like a random underground fight.
Yeah, that is him.
It is, right?
That is him. Yeah, that you're right. That is him. But that wasn't part of the movie though.
No, it wasn't.
That was just
it was like a blooper.
Yeah, that's just something that happened at the end. Like,
I think they did it on purpose just to make people, because I bet you everyone was like, "Oh wow, why wasn't he, doing it, whatever? Why wasn't he doing it in the movie?" And then it showed him doing it at the end. So you can't do a second movie and recreate that magic. No, not at all.
And hey, do you remember what Gene and Mike said when they saw that part?
Hell,
What?
I don't even know, and I was there. And I don't even remember what I said.
I'll never forget it because it made me laugh so hard because it's true. But you were like, "Now, what kind of goofy crap is this?" And Mike said, "Well, you ain't never been to a white wedding?"
Yeah, that's it.
And he said, "Everybody dances like this," and he's not wrong, including myself, probably. But I just remember I was like, "Oh, Mike called it all out," and G just was like, "Really?" That would so it was it made me think of that when it didn't happen, but then they saved it for the end. But yeah, that's something they can't do. If they were gonna do it, they would have to recreate it in a different way. Like have them still dance, but you can't do the same exact dance. I mean, Van Damme was doing that on Saturday Night Live, like in the past 2 months. Did you see that? Was it? No, it was.
I didn't see that.
What's the? It wasn't that one. It was Coco. What's his name?
Conan O'Brien.
Yeah, Conan O'Brien. They set up the whole scene the same way.
Yeah,
it's kind of silly, and he did the whole thing with his old butt.
But he didn't do. But
he still did it. Yeah, he didn't do the full split.
That's what pissed me off.
So let me ask you guys this: what was the deal with Gina Carano? Because she was in this movie also, and I like how they had other MMA fighters in there because Kane was in there. She
was just in there.
She was the fight promoter. She was the fight promoter.
Okay, I thought they would have did something a little bit more with her.
They should have. She didn't even throw a punch, did she?
No.
Yeah, I don't think she did either.
She didn't do anything. No.
Yeah. They just made her like she was like the fight promoter from the original. You know, the one behind the scenes creating stuff. You know, she had the money, and then even when the police officer chick was getting involved, she wanted her taken out. So she's the one making moves and making sure, you know, the fights happen and all that stuff.
Okay.
Don King, I guess it would be like a good representation, kind of. She's the Don King.
Right.
No, that's funny.
So, I mean, basically, like you said, after all this, I mean, we go into the fight, right?
Yeah, pretty much. What was the deal with the weapons? Like, why were they doing that? Having weapons in the fight.
I think that added to it. I think that added to like the 1 round, 2 round. Like, you know what I mean? I think they took the original and just added a little twist to it. Did I like it? No, I didn't.
They took that from that other movie we saw. That's what I thought. The one, Shoot Fighter, because that there is a scene, a certain round you start fighting with weapons.
That's exactly where it reminded me of.
Yeah, that's what I got it.
Yeah, Shoot Fighter did the exact. Had different rounds, and then each round up the ante. It was okay, but like to me, neither of them held on to the weapons that long. They just wanted to get back to fighting.
And you know, I felt I guess they felt like they were just trying to be different, but like all these other fighters were around. We didn't really see nobody else fighting. Like it wasn't like a tournament or anything like that.
No.
So I guess nobody else was really worried about dying.
No.
Yeah, that was. I don't know. That whole tournament, that whole setup was just weird to me because it just really wasn't making any sense. If he didn't show up to challenge him, like what would those guys been doing? Just training all the time? That's it?
Yeah, I guess you're right. Yeah.
I don't know. Like it wasn't like Mortal Kombat or Bloodsport or anything. It was just, you know, where they had like tournaments and people continue to go forward. Because I was going to say, like, is everybody fighting with weapons the second round or third round? Or multiple people dying? You know, like in Shoot Fighter, like those guys in Shoot Fighter were dying. You know, so I don't know.
That's my problem when you start putting stuff like weapons involved. Like
you have to have some people die. Like why else would you have weapons in the fight? Unless you're fighting with what do they call those things? Those sticks?
Sticks, Kali.
The ones that they have in wrestling. In WWE wrestling.
The kendo sticks.
Kendo sticks. Yeah. Unless you're having kendo sticks, I don't see like why would you have any other type of weapon.
You can still mess someone up with a kendo stick. You
you
bust
could
them
mess someone
upside
up
the
really bad with that.
side
Oh
of their
yeah. I definitely
temple.
understand that. But you have a better chances of surviving a fight with a kendo stick than a fight with a sword. Somebody's dying. If you guys are fighting with swords, somebody needs to die.
That's my problem when they had that sword fight. I'm just thinking like, oh, this is Ninja Turtles. They're not going to actually cut each other. I mean, because then, I mean, okay, what? Technically, you give me a sword in a fight to the death, I'm gonna try and cut your head off.
Yeah, or stab you.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to stab you. But instead, they have this like ting ting. We got to hear the sword. You know, if I'm watching a sword fight on TV, you got to hear it. You know, but if you really look and you like watch a good samurai movie, you know how long a sword fight usually lasts in a samurai movie? 10 seconds. Because somebody dies.
That sounds about right. I mean, that's how it should be, you know?
And that's what I'm saying. But in a movie like this, they want to prolong it. So we're going to have a 2-minute fight scene with a sword. That's not realistic. If you're good, if I'm really good with a sword, I'm going to take you out as fast as I can.
Right.
But, you know, like you said, they were just trying to do something a little different. Maybe even somebody was like trying to do a shoot fighting reference. But like we said earlier, this was actually a really kind of a David versus Goliath fight. Kurt really took some punishment in the first couple of rounds.
I don't even understand how he came back, honestly, because he got beat up most of the fight. He was getting beat up. Yeah.
I mean, he was even kind of playing with him and toying with him a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, trying to give the people a little bit of what they want, I guess. But he did come through in the end.
And it wasn't a gruesome way how they killed him either. You know, because we really didn't. I mean, I'm assuming Kurt kind of pulled his head down on top of the blade of the sword because he threw at one point in the fight he threw a sword at him, and it kind of got stuck in the fence. Because it was like kind of like a cage they were fighting in. And later on, you know, they get to a point where they both are by this sword in the cage. And then Kirk grabs his head and pulls him down. And I mean, I'm assuming he choked him with it because we didn't see any blood. There was no blood. I don't remember seeing any blood come out of his neck.
Chung Po could have avoided this gruesome death. He's the one that got up and tried to get smart and, you know, catch him while his guard was down. So, I mean, he kind of did that to himself.
Yeah.
He really could have just, you know, took the L. Instead, he had to, you know, be a jackass and try to kill this dude for making him look stupid and then ended up, you know, getting killed himself.
Right. Like I said, I didn't mind this fight scene. I actually kind of liked it. It was better than I was expecting because up until this fight scene, I was not enjoying this movie at all. And this, like Angel said, this fight scene saved the movie for me.
Yeah. I'm telling you, that's the only thing that saved this movie. If it wasn't for
I'm surprised you saying that, Angel, because I thought you were gonna love this movie.
I didn't like it the first time I saw it. Yeah, I didn't like it the first time I saw it. I only watched it just because I wanted to see what was like the differences. And like I said, like I think we hit the nail on the head like right in the beginning of the show. Like this one was more dialogue and story as opposed to the original was just more 80s montage and training and fighting. Like that's really what the difference was. And I don't know, maybe I just kind of like grew up watching those types of movies. So I like that style of like cinematography better sometimes. Not all the time, but like I said, like sometimes it's better. Like imagine if Kill Bill with their story and their plot, but with like an 80s montage types of fight scenes and training. Like we would be saying, man, Kill Bill would be like amazing. You know what I mean?
Don't give Quentin Tarantino any ideas, man.
You know what though? Kill Bill could have used a nice little fighting montage.
Right? Now I say it. Now I would have said that's the best movie.
I would have liked something like that. Like maybe when he was training with Pai Mei.
Yeah.
And we get a little music, a little something, and they got the little training montage. That would have been interesting.
What was Uma Thurman's name in that movie?
Beatrice.
Yeah. So it'll probably be
Beatrice Kiddo. Beatrice Kiddo.
So it'll probably be Kill Beatrice, and this time it's going to be what was her name? It wasn't Black Mamba. It wasn't Cottonmouth. Her kid, the one that watched her mom get killed.
Vivica Fox's was.
Vivica Fox. Her character, her daughter in that movie.
Yeah.
It'll probably be that kid coming after Beatrice. Kill Beatrice.
I've heard something about that. I've heard something about that possibility, but I haven't heard anything happen yet. Yeah, it was. This movie for what it was. I mean, I didn't expect much of it when I seen that it come out. It was probably better than what I was thinking when it first came out, but it wasn't great.
I was not expecting it to be a reboot of the movie. When you guys said let's watch it, I thought it was going to be just completely a different character altogether. I didn't know they were going to kind of remake the movie.
And I think I would have liked it better if they would have made it just a completely different movie instead of a reboot. I'm not a huge listen. If I really, really enjoy a movie,
you don't want to see it.
I don't want to see it rebooted. Make a whole new one.
So you're not interested in watching the Back to the Future reboot if they do that? That's been rumor for a few years.
I'm gonna watch it because I'm a fan, but I'm not gonna go into it with high expectations. Some things just need to be left alone.
That's interesting.
Yeah, that's okay.
So, what grade do you guys give this movie?
I want to hear Angel's grade first.
I give it a B-.
Okay, that's not.
That's better than what I'm giving it.
Me too. C- for me.
Wow.
Okay. I see. I'm not going with the minus. I'm giving it a C. I'm not going with the C-. I'll give it, and the only reason I'm giving it a C- a C is because of the fight scene. Like I said,
you know what? Honestly, I'm gonna say it's probably a C. I agree with you. Now that I hear you say that, yeah, it's probably a C. Because I think the second one is way better than this one.
Okay, let me ask you guys this: if there was not the original Kickboxer from what was it, 90 or 91? If that never came out, and this was the first.
80. The original
80, 88 or 89, one
there.
Okay, so if that movie never came out and this came out, what would you think of this movie?
I still would give it probably a C+.
Yeah, I think
I might go up a little more, but not much. I'd be like, okay, it was decent.
Yeah, I still would have been like the fact that we read Wikipedia and we didn't even know he was from Venice, California. Like that,
they just grazed over that. They just grazed over it.
Like that to me, I'm like, come on, man. That's literally how we need to start a movie. So I can't give you.
I can't remember if Mike and I were grading movies back then. Because I'm curious to know what grade me and Mike gave the original Kickboxer.
You guys sometimes never got to grading them, and sometimes you did.
Yeah, I can't remember if we gave.
Because if you remember, you used to do like half a movie review, and then you would talk like wrestling or MMA.
Right.
So then you just kind of would graze over the grading it sometimes.
Yeah.
Unless like you really felt like you had to grade it, then you guys would kind of.
Hey, let me tell you, like I'll never forget listening. Like I'm saying, like way longer when I was like the original fan of like martial arts, and I'm listening to CTE, and I hear Trav go, they're talking about MMA. He goes, I'm just gonna call my brother. Like that's probably one of my favorite episodes of all time. And he calls, and all you hear him go is Gene is going.
Gene was the first guest.
Gene was like, the first guest. Yeah, Gene was like, nah, because they don't know about thug jitsu. They were trying to keep him down, this and that. And Travis says, so are you saying that Dana White is racist? And all you hear Gene say is, come on, Trav, don't do that to me, man. It's late. Don't ruin my day. So I was dying laughing at that episode. Just like I remember, I was listening to Fist Kicks and Flicks all the time. To think, is he gonna go on another tangent? Because I just wanted to see what you were gonna say.
I think some people want me to go on tangents,
But you know what? I don't think you went on tangents with Mike. I don't think Mike pushed you there.
No, he didn't.
Angel and I push you there sometimes.
Nah, bro.
Yeah, the first episode. The
best tangent was still forever me when he said, he's a fucking rat. Why would I want to go do it? That to me was still one of the best.
Wait, I was watching a movie today, and something was said that made me think of that whole thing. Did you see the new Fast and Furious yet?
Yeah.
Fast 9.
Yeah.
They're walking around in some sewers, and literally Tyrese goes, "Listen, if any Ninja Turtles come out of here, I'm out." And I said, "Oh, there goes Gene."
Yeah, there you go. Brothers ain't playing. Brothers ain't about to stick around. We're not about to try and figure out what happened, how you got here. We're getting the fuck out of here. We'll figure that shit out at home. We'll Google some shit from home, but we're not about to stay around now and try and figure that out.
Man.
That ain't happening.
Hey, yo, man, it's funny. It's funny you say that because I just had one of my friends the other day. They were like, "Yo, I got these like resort things to go skiing. Like, Angel, you ski, let's go skiing." And I looked at him and I sent him a picture, and I was like, "People like us don't go skiing, bro. Like, get out of here. Don't do that." I told him straight up. I said, "Don't do that, bro. Like, don't do that." And he was like, "Yo, like, I feel like you need to get more in tune with nature. Like, we try to go camping. You never want to go." And I told him, I said, "Why would I want to go be in the woods with no electricity, no nothing? Because I want to look at the stars." I told him, I said, "Tell me where you're gonna be, and I'll be down the road at the hotel, but I'll call you, make sure you're good. If you need anything, I'll go and have supplies. And then I'll look at the stars with you as I have on the TV, and I'm enjoying a nice warm bed." Like, I can't do that, bro.
Yeah, I'm not about to save up my money and pretend to be homeless. Like, that doesn't sound like a fun idea. That does not sound like a fun idea to me.
Listen,
I've never been camping.
Listen, there's nothing wrong with camping.
I'm not saying
camping
there is
fun.
To each their own. It does not sound fun to me.
I do it in a motorhome though. I rent a motorhome now. That's my camp.
I'm more likely to do that. I'm not doing a tent. I'm not setting up a tent. I'm not laying on the grass. I'm not laying in dirt. I'm not taking a shit in a hole, digging a hole, and then taking a shit in the hole. Hell no. And have a shitty ass. Walk around the rest of the day with a shitty ass. That is not happening.
Yo,
no.
I'm being serious. Like, I agree, man. If you tell me we're gonna be like an RV with cable and TV and Wi-Fi, I'm in there. I'll be the best camper you ever see.
Even if it's a cabin, I'll do a cabin thing, but I'm not about to set up no tent. That's not happening. I'm not about to tussle around with no bears.
What was the last
coyotes?
What was the last time that you said? Where you were like, if I see a bear, I'm out. I'm not even.
You can't. Hey, I had classes in college about that, man. You cannot fight a bear. You can't do it.
No.
Okay. Especially a brown bear is not going to eat you. A black bear will eat you.
A black bear? No, you don't fight it's black. You don't do that.
Yes, I said a black bear will eat you. A brown bear will fuck you up. He'll kick you around. If a brown bear eats a human, then they're gonna have to kill it. They're gonna have to kill it because he's gonna like the taste of it and he'll eat more humans. One of the things I learned in that class was brown bears were afraid of humans. But they starting to get used. That's why a lot of times they say in those campgrounds, don't feed the bears. It's because they don't want the bears getting used to us, because then we're gonna have a serious problem. We want them to be scared of us, Now, brown bear, bear's gonna eat that ass. I mean, my bad, a black one. A brown one's gonna beat you up. He's gonna fuck you up real quick. Now the black one, he's gonna pull out the barbecue sauce and the hot sauce and some wheat bread and roll your ass up in that, and you're done.
All right. Well, on that note, I think we're ready to wrap this one up.
Hot dog angel. That's it. You're good.
Hot dog. That's a tamale.
All right, we're about to shut it down. We're going to get text messages from Trav. We're going to get text messages from Trav. All right. All right. So what are we doing? We watching Kickboxer? What's it called?
Retaliation.
That's next.
Oh, God.
All right, everybody. You can hear more of this craziness next week on Fist Kicks and Flicks. Make sure that you guys check out the other shows on the platform. You guys got any other close closing non-racial remarks?
I think we covered it.
All right, everybody. Angel, get some water, man, before you pass out. Man, hey, man, I hope that laughing ain't hurting you down there. Man, laughing that hard. He gonna have to go to the hospital. All right, everybody, stay safe, stay strong. We'll holler at you next week, and I will play our music. Peace.
Disaster must come. At best, only postponed. Shaolin Kung Fu, to survive, must now be taught to more young men.